Near Bailey's Island. I first want to express my condolences to Julie's friends and family, and specifically to thank the individuals who responded and helped bring the situation to a quick closure by helping bring her to shore, where unfortunately she was pronounced deceased by the local EMS. I have consulted with Gregory Skomel, who is a senior scientist with the Mass Department of Marine Fisheries. We were able to recover a fragment of a tooth, and with that fragment, Mr. Skomel was able to positively identify this as a great white shark. I want to stress that this is a very highly unusual event. In fact, this is the only confirmed fatality in Maine waters from a shark attack. The only other confirmed shark attack in Maine waters occurred 10 years ago near Eastport, and that shark was determined at the time to be a poor beagle shark. Yesterday's attack occurred at 3:26 p.m. in the afternoon as Julie and a family member were swimming approximately 20 yards from shore on Bailey's Island. As I mentioned, this is a highly unusual event. However, at this time, the department is urging swimmers and other people recreating in and around the waters of the Casco Bay region, and in particular near Bailey's Island, to be aware of their surroundings and to avoid schools of fish which will attract seals. The seals, in return, will attract sharks. Areas that are congregation points for seals, such as a seal haul-out area, are particularly to be avoided. The Maine Marine Patrol will be conducting a follow-up investigation in the coming days, and Major Beal will now provide more information on the incident and follow-up investigation. And after that, we'll be happy to answer any questions that we may. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. My name is Major Beal with the Marine Patrol, as the Commissioner mentioned. First of all, I'd like to echo his heartfelt condolences to the friends and family of Julie Dempero Hollowak. As Commissioner Kelleher stated, yesterday afternoon, Marine Patrol was notified of an individual swimming near Bailey Island that was suspected to have been involved with what appeared to be a shark attack. Following an external assessment conducted by the Medical Examiner's Office, as Commissioner Kelleher noted, it has been confirmed that this was in fact the shark attack, and the shark was in fact a great white. Marine Patrol, along with the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office, in conjunction with the Oars and Bailey Island Fire Department, responded to the scene, but the victim had already been pronounced deceased when rescue crew arrived on scene. Marine Patrol is continuing to monitor the area immediately around Bailey Island where the incident took place for sharks, and ask that the public please report sightings to your local Marine Patrol officer. This morning we have field staff both on the water in the immediate area, and also we've conducted a flight stretching between Casco Bay and Sheepscot Bay where we did not observe any sharks present in the area. As the Commissioner mentioned, I want to emphasize that we urge swimmers and others recreating in the water, including those using paddlecraft, to avoid areas where they witness schools of fish and seals. Since sharks, including great whites, do venture into Maine's coastal waters, we urge people to avoid swimming or paddling near seals and schooling fish, which are prey for sharks. Moving forward, our intention is to issue a press release later in the day with summary information regarding this incident. Thank you.
I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
We've seen some evidence online of dive companies recently in the area using chumming to attract fish. Are you guys looking into that at all?
We've not received any information about that. I mean, we've certainly been aware of that type of activity farther offshore, but not on the inshore waters. But if that information comes in, we certainly would be looking into that. So I want to stress that it's that it's the presence of, this is a predator-prey relationship issue, so it's the presence of seals that are really the driver here. Yep.
Was there any thought of maybe closing the surrounding beaches just for at least 24 hours to get a better handle of what's actually going on?
So because of the rarity of this issue and the fact that we have consulted very closely with our counterparts at Mass Department of Marine Fisheries, we feel like the prudent thing to do at this time is to just continue to express caution within the area and while recreating, swimming and recreating. It's the rarity of the event that made us believe that we didn't need to take action such as a closure. That being said, I have been in close contact with Commissioner Beal at the Department of Conservation. As you all know, the Department of Conservation is in charge of the state parks. Around the corner you have Popham Beach and Reed State Park Beach. Our plane flew that area today. That is an area where, because of the bottom coloration, we would be able to observe any sharks in that area. None were observed. They are known areas to have sharks, but it's my understanding that the park manager has put basically a waiting situation into place for now while we continue to investigate and talk with the experts on this matter.
The other swimmer, are you able to tell us, was that her daughter or granddaughter, and was she physically injured?
I can confirm that it was her daughter, and she was not injured. She was able to swim back by and get out of the water very shortly after. But the quick reaction of both her daughter and some eyewitnesses who were able to call 911 quickly to get both Marine Patrol and local EMS to the area quickly.
Can you say how far from shore she was swimming at the time?
Approximately 20 yards. Yeah.
Someone had shared with us that there was a seal that was washed ashore with a large blue mark just on Sunday in Pittsburgh. Is that something that you guys keep track of in terms of?
Yeah, so we are aware that there have been a few reports of seals within the area that have had bite marks. This is something that is a common, fairly common occurrence throughout the year. It's important to note that there are records dating back into the late 1800s around the presence of great white sharks in the Gulf of Maine. Reports of great whites and activity with great whites is not something new. Obviously, this type of issue is certainly new to Maine. You have to look down to Massachusetts. I should let you folks know that Greg Skomel is definitely available to answer any questions about the behavior and the characteristics of great whites. He is certainly the subject matter expert on the East Coast.
Can you talk about? Oh, go ahead. Could you talk about the heroic efforts of the kayakers that went out to actually rescue these people?
Yeah, we are, to protect both the family and the kayakers' identifications, we're not going to release their names, but I can't stress enough the thanks that we have for the efforts that they made. In the face of that type of situation, the fact that they were able to kayak into that area and help bring the body back to shore was nothing more than miraculous, and we certainly thank them, sincerely thank them.
Are you able to say, were the swimmers wearing wetsuits?
The victim was wearing a wetsuit.
Do you know if the shark was still in the area when the kayakers got there? Did they witness the shark at all?
We don't know.
Yeah, we're not aware of any additional sightings after the initial contact.
Right. And Commissioner, that wetsuit would be an attraction for a shark, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't want to. I'm certainly not the subject matter expert, but in having conversations with the doctor down in Massachusetts, those type wearing anything dark could mimic a seal. It's certainly, again though, it's not something we ever would have considered in Maine waters, as far as wearing that type of a wetsuit.
Given the fact that it's summer and even though we're in this pandemic, there are still visitors coming to the state of Maine. Are you hoping to maybe do more patrols in populated areas like Reed State Park or something where you know there's going to be a large gathering of people, just
Yeah,
to
you want
kind
to
of
speak to the effort.
put some people at ease?
Yeah, that's absolutely our intention, as I referenced earlier, to increase our focus in just the outreach to the public and a higher profile along the coast, as opposed to when we're often working fisheries-related issues and doing so in a more covert manner. It's certainly important just to take that it again, it is tragic, but also an isolated incident that we're kind of working our way through. The state's never seen.
With this occurrence happening, being the first fatality, are all the harbor masters, I mean, is there like a general notice that goes out to harbor masters so they can ping everybody and say, listen, if you see anything, you need to report back immediately?
Yeah, we do that. We communicate through the Department of Marine Resources and through other outlets, and communicate regularly with our harbor masters, and our field staff has a healthy relationship with harbor masters, the local commercial fishing community, and others just along the waterfront. So it's an effective method of communication.
Commissioner, Julie, she was a New York resident, but did she own property in that neighborhood? And do you have a sense of how the neighborhood's dealing with this incident right now?
Yeah, they definitely own property right in that area. So I understand that they spent 4 to 5 months every summer here. They were the individuals were well known in the community, very active within the community while they were here during the summer months. Beyond that, I really don't know if you have anything to add to that, Major.
Yeah, I think I'll just add briefly that I'm close with the Harpswell community. It's a tight-knit coastal community, kind of iconic to Maine's waterfront, and that in fact Julie and her husband are just well-known, very respected individuals, and the community is really at a tough juncture in trying to process yesterday's event.
The last thing I want to stress is, to an earlier question, one of the first things that the department did yesterday was put an announcement out through our Gov delivery system to our commercial fishermen within the area. Today we're expanding that notice to all members of the public, commercial industry, as well as members of the public. If you see any sort of activity, it's very important to call the Maine Marine Patrol. We can provide those contact information for you. I think any type of information that we get around that activity will help us, and we are going to pass that information along to the researchers who are following these sharks. We do know that there are some 200 sharks that have been tagged over the years, mostly off Massachusetts, but they all have satellite tags. Dr. Skolmel's going back and reviewing that data to see if there is any indication that some of those sharks may have moved north in the recent days. But again, the rarity of this event, the fact that it's happened, does not mean it's going to happen again. We just continue to urge everybody remain vigilant when they're in those any areas of high probability. Great. Great. And all set?
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I appreciate
Thanks,
it.
everyone. Appreciate it.
Jeff Nichols, the Communications Director.